Oi, Geordie. Crossbar?
Oi, Jess, round the world.
Get into me, eh?
Oh, that's good.
Can you do this? It's Female Football Week, and we want you to upload your best football moments to social media.
Use hashtag #YeahTheGirls so we can see what you can do. See you on the pitch.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to John Fredericks Park here at Capalaba. It's round 5 from the NPL Women's Queensland, and we're here for the match between the Brisbane Roar NTC and Capalaba. Rafe Griffin with you, and I've got a special guest as part of Female Football Week, the winning coach from this season's W League. Welcome, Mel Andreatta.
Thank you very much, Rafe. I'm really looking forward to tonight's game.
Well, let's talk about that W League Premiership win, 7th the last season. What an incredible performance by your side to take the top of the table at the end of this W League season.
Yeah, it was a great season. Involved a lot of good performances, and you know, put it down to a lot of different factors. But yeah, we're happy with that first achievement. But yeah, we're certainly hungry for a bit more next season.
As I said, we're here celebrating Female Football Week. Obviously heavily involved in the game from the women's side of things over the previous, 20, 25 years. What's your take on how do you view Female Football Week?
I think it's a great opportunity for us to celebrate all the women in the game who are contributing to its growth, and not only the women but all staff, players, administrators, coaches who all give to the game to contribute to that growth, and also give coaches like me and others opportunities to do something different within the game, and I think it's a great initiative and one that everyone's getting right behind.
It's not just football that's booming in women's sport at the moment. We're seeing it right across a heap of sports. Professional leagues starting to come in, and the NRL, the AFL, etc. It must be a very exciting time to be involved in female football.
It is, yeah. All the codes are getting right behind and seeing the value in what women can bring to each of the codes, and to see so many people contribute to the growth and to give all women, elite players, an opportunity to perform at the highest level is fantastic, and it actually drives each code to be a bit better. And I think that competition, it's a healthy one, is good for everybody, and you know, I can't wait to see where that takes our code and all the other codes in the country.
And I guess the other booming thing about football is that some of the opportunities that weren't available in your day, where we now have girls-only teams. Some of these players that we'll see out here tonight played in mixed teams growing up. It's a fantastic opportunity for the girls these days to go out and play amongst their peers and against other females, all through the age groups now.
It certainly is, and the biggest change that I've seen is the professionalism. Media coverage like this wasn't around when I was playing, and that was only 10 years ago. So you guys are doing a fantastic job, and what it does is give the audience at home more exposure of what you know, their local women can do, and build heroes there, and gain more interest in our young girls to want to play the game at their local club, and then see what happens from there, and also locals to give to clubs like this, and to contribute to their community, and that's what's great about this game. It gives everyone an opportunity to get involved and to give to the game. It's great.
We're starting to see advancements in the W League. Of course, the introduction of a minimum wage, more TV coverage. If you had your say and had utopia, where would you see the W League in, say, 5, 10 years? Where would you like to see it go?
Oh, look, I think continuing in those two areas is key, but obviously there's been a lot of talk around the length of the league, and I think it has to go full home and away, playing each team twice. I think that's got to be high on the agenda, and then what I'd love to see is a cup competition for the women as well, like we see for the men, an FFA Cup. But why not a club competition where the best clubs in our region, the Pacific region, get together and play a Champions Cup tournament. Portland Thorns, Melbourne City this year, you know, maybe the top two teams, Chelsea, Arsenal's, and we play a cup competition. We get that international experience for our players other than just for the national team. I think that's a growth area too. That would be of great interest to me, certainly.
And we're about to see the best of the crop in terms of the Brisbane Roar NTC squads that are coming through. What are you looking forward to tonight?
Yeah, I can't wait to see what the young crop of players can do against senior experienced women. There's a lot of good players in this Capalaba side, and one former Raw player as well taking the field for Capalaba. So it's going to be a great hit out, and it'll be interesting to see how the young girls take part.
All right, as you can see, the two teams are coming out onto the park for this round 5 NPL Women's Queensland match. Brisbane Roar the Brisbane Roar NTC in their traditional orange and white. Capalaba in the yellow strip, accompanied by juniors from the Capalaba area tonight. So stay tuned. We'll stand by. We'll be back with live NPL Women's action in just a moment. One win apiece from their opening 3 matches for both these sides. They'll be looking to elevate themselves from their current 9th and 11th places on the ladder with a win here tonight. It's the start of Female Football Week and a massive weekend of coverage for you on the Football Queensland live streams. From John Fredericks Park, it's round 5 action from the NPL Women's Queensland between Capalaba and the Brisbane Roar NTC. It's Rafe Griffin with you in commentary and joined by the Brisbane Roar's W League Premiership winning coach Mel Andreatta. And Mel, fitting at the start of Female Football Week, we get to see some of the best new of the next generation coming through in action tonight.
It's going to be a great hit out to see these young players take on senior experienced women, and both placed closely on the table. I think to get that win, it'll be a tightly contested match tonight here.
We can see the two captains out there having a chat with the match officials prior to the conduct of the coin toss. And Steph Latham out there in jersey number 7, a former Brisbane Roar W League player herself, was part of the team that won back in 08-09. Mm-hmm. Fantastic pedigree from Steph Latham, Mel.
Yeah, a very technical, hard-working midfielder, part of that team that won the premiership, and then, you know, continued on the next season as well. And she's been a stalwart in the Brisbane leagues for many years, and the young Raw NTC team will certainly have a battle there in midfield dealing with her.
So two teams in their final pre-match huddles. Brisbane Roar just breaking away from theirs. As I mentioned, 1 win from 3 to start off the season. They lost in their first match to the Gap 3-2. And then they defeated Western Pride 4-1. Now, one of the few teams to get out on the park in the last week with the big downpour in the southeast in the last 10 days. And unfortunately, the Roar went down to South on the synthetic park last weekend by 4-1. And it'll be the Roar that will get us underway in just a moment. Just waiting for the final of the checks from the assistant referees. And we're about to get underway at John Fredericks Park to start Female Football Week here in Queensland. So we're underway now. Round 5 action from the NPL in the women's. Brisbane Roar NTC up against the Capalaba Bulldogs. And an early scramble here for the Bulldogs to try and clear their defensive lines. Capalaba's record coming into this game, just the 1 win from 3 matches. Fortunately, copped a bit of a thumping back in round 1 to Lions, who are one of the fancy teams to take out the premiership this year. Capalaba going down 9-0. An improved performance the second game, but still went down to Moreton Bay by 4-1. They missed last weekend due to the rain. The weekend before that, they were able to defeat the South West Queensland Thunder by 5-1. As Capalaba look to launch an attack, and the assistant's flags up for offside.
It's been a positive start from the young Raw NTC to start with, but I think they're going to need to be careful when they lose possession and Capalaba get the opportunity to go forward quickly in transition.
So the Raw just knocking it around the back, trying to get into their attacking half, which they eventually do so, but forced to retreat. Good work from the Bulldogs midfield. Working their way down the left touchline. A tackle in there from the Capalaba player to repel the progress of the Raw. Just trying to edge away forward, but put away there by the Capalaba defenders, who earn themselves a throw-in. So let's take you through the 2 team lineups for this evening. For the Raw NTC, let's go 11, Sian Freya, Georgia Thompson, 4, Winona Heatley, 10, Anna McGrath, 12, Leah Davidson, 3, Hallie Cam, 2, Melisha Westland, 6, Jamila Rankin, 7, India Page Riley, 9, Imogen Noon, 14, Holly McQueen, and 20, Danny Harbert. The substitutes are Bronte Hodgkinson, Georgie Beaumont, and Lainey Freer. And for Capalaba, in goal is Megan Byrell, 4, Lucy McDowell, 6, Sosia Zen, 7, Steph Latham, 8, Terrell Collins, and we have
first goal.
The goal here for the Brisbane Roar, as we're taking you through the team lists. Let's take a look at that on the replay and get a second look at it. Just about to come up that replay. Good 1-2 there between Davidson and Riley. And it's India Page Riley that has the opening goal for the Brisbane Roar. And they are 1-0 leaders inside the first 4 minutes of this encounter. What did you make of that goal there, Mel?
I think it was a great opportunity taken by the front players and that attacking midfield, who just capitalised on a bit of an error at the back there from Capalaba and went forward quickly with that combination to get a shot away and score. So, yeah, opportunistic, but you've got to take your chances.
So an early blow struck for the Raw. Let's take you through the remainder of that Capalaba lineup. 8, Terrell Collins, 10, Demi Robbins, 11, Tegan Thompson, 12, Caitlin Cardwell, 13, Jeanette Osborne, 14, Catherine Tibbles, and 15, Vicky Lyons. The subs for Capalaba are Jessica JJ McLean, Madeline Finneran, and Chelsea Fry, as we see Capalaba with a chance of their own over the bar there at the end from Terrell Collins. So they'll have a corner, but Capalaba looking to get back onto the score sheet very quickly there, Mel.
Yeah, and Terrell will be another dangerous player for the Raw to manage. She's had experience in the top league before this season and got to work with her at the Gap many years ago. So she's a dangerous player, especially when going forward, and she'll present a threat to the defence of the Roar.
So Capalaba unable to take advantage of that opportunity from the corner. We're already seeing the goal scorer for the Roar, Riley, looking to pose a few issues for the Capalaba players. That's a bit of a hold, and yes, the referee has picked it up. Free kick will go the Roar's way as Davidson was impeded. Out wider now for the NTC. The cross comes in. Initially dealt with by the defenders, although it looks like Roar will get possession back. Down the left-hand touchline. Roar will mop up against the Capalaba attack. It was Noon in the 9 shirt.
Just having a few problems there, breaking down the midfield of Capalaba to get a player facing forward and in behind. Capalaba doing a good job of making it hard for the Roar to build up.
And of course, if you've got any questions for Mel tonight that you might want to pose, she's only too happy to answer them. So add a comment on the Facebook page if you're watching in tonight and got a question of Mel Andreatta, the Brisbane Roar W League coach. As Capalaba earn themselves a free kick. Capalaba were the grand finalists in last year's Brisbane Women's Premier League. They went down to Annerley by 1-0 in the grand final. Free kick in towards the box, easily dealt with by the defence. The skipper for the Roar, McGrath. Now for Riley. Just seeing whether they'll be able to rein that in on the right-hand side. And again, Capalaba able to mop up in their defensive box. It's certainly been end-to-end so far, Mel.
Yeah, it just seems Capalaba are happy to tuck in and make it hard for the Roar to find someone facing forward on the ball and forcing us into wide areas and then doing really well to win the ball or deal with the cross and break quickly from that. So it's something it's going to be a threat for the Roar, and certainly I think they're looking to score from those opportunities.
McDowell caught offside for the Bulldogs. He was one of the more impressive players for Capalaba through their Mount Franklin Brisbane Women's Premier League campaign last year. Tall, lanky forward. As Capalaba try something down the left-hand side this time. Brisbane Roar playing tight against the Capalaba player. It was Cardwell who's been impeded. So free kick to Capalaba near the corner of the box in attacking territory.
It was a good build-up there from young Tegan Thompson, a quick left footer creating an attack down that side. So another area that will create attacking opportunities for Capalaba.
So Latham over this free kick. And it comes over the wall, angling it towards the top right corner, but just couldn't find the target in the end. So if you have just joined us, the Roar scored the opening goal early on inside the first 5 minutes for their 1-0 lead. Friday night football for you from John Fredericks Park at Capalaba. Goal kick taken by Harbert. That familiar Roar philosophy of wanting to play out from the back. Disputed possession. Latham tries to get in and make the tackle there against Heatley. On the left for Freer. And the keeper for Capalaba, by Real, sends the accompanying clearance long.
Here's Thompson again on the left. Quick getting on the outside. She's had a good impact to start the game off.
Trying to link up, trying to link up there with Steph Latham. Didn't come off in the end. That early setback for Capalaba. They're not shirking any opportunity to try and get forward.
Latham's onside here.
Harbert at the edge of the box had a decision to make. Did she clear it with the feet or pick it up in her hands? And once again, Harbert called into action. Raw hard up against the goal line. Freer. Quick touch on by a skipper, McGrath. Back for Freer once more. McGrath just takes a moment to take a look at what's inside of her.
And again, just having that ability to get in behind out wide, but the execution once the ball goes in centrally needs to improve a bit. Capalaba's doing well to force them into those areas.
Hacked away. We tied it up here for the Raw NTC by Heatley. Giving away possession, though, to McDowell. McDowell continues on a run down the right-hand side. There's plenty of orange shirts coming towards her. 3 of them there. And Harbert will tidy up there in the Raw goal. It's been a fast tempo, hasn't it, Mel, already?
Yeah.
Even despite these hot conditions.
It is. It's still humid, but both teams are looking to get on the front foot, and Capalaba aren't shying away from the challenge despite being a goal down, still looking to go forward quickly.
Man on was the call. It was Lyons there putting the pressure on Noon. Again, the ball turned over to the Raw in dangerous territory.
Yeah, it's just starting to look like now the game is settling in to a rhythm.
Freer back for McGrath. Once again, unable to link up. Latham, uncharacteristic from Steph Latham. She might make up for her mistake, though. She does exactly that. And the defender in there for the Raw was Cam. Or Can, I should say. As the ball crossed the line, yes, says the assistant. Can't, I'll get that right eventually, Mel.
The print is pretty small.
So the Raw NTC, Mel, what is their aim as part of participating in the NPL Women's? Is it just about development? Is it about results, or a mixture of both?
Oh, it's definitely.
Here
we
Capalaba
go. Yeah, they're
have equalised. The assistant initially put his flag up. It then stayed down. But Capalaba found the equaliser through Lucy McDowell. And the Raw have conceded from a dead ball opportunity. So we take a look at it again on the replay, Mel, if you want to take us through it.
Yeah, from a set piece, and haven't managed or tracked the run. And Lucy McDowell, she's a player who's played at a reasonable level and is continuing to be a threat for Capalaba. She's done well to be an option and put that ball away.
So just ghosting in there at the back post. Lucy McDowell equalises. And we've already had 2 goals inside the first quarter of an hour. So it could be a bit of a goal fest here this evening. Capalaba and the Raw locked up at 1-1. Just going back to that earlier discussion about what is the aim of the Raw NTC in participating in the NPL Women's?
Yeah, it's a mixture of both. We certainly saw a need for the girls to be in a competitive competition where, you know, they have to perform, and a win means 3 points and a loss means none. And we always want to try to win and get as high as we can on the ladder. And great shot there from Jamila Rankin, young player that's relocated from northern New South Wales and playing as the 6, a holding midfielder. Great left foot, very athletic, good shot there.
Forced a save out of by Real, former under-19 Australian representative with the gloves. Variation on the corner for the Raw. Westland. Oh, it's going to cause a bit of issues there for the keeper, just dipping there at the right moment, but managed to punch it over the bar. So, you score, we score at the moment. It's threatening at the moment.
Bit of a wind picking up here, so it might make set plays for the rest of the evening more interesting.
So this corner played across the goal line. We're trying to find some room to move in. Noon. Then it was for Westland. Now it's Freer. Once again, the clearance from the Capalaba defence. Noon. She's been adjudged to have been fouled.
Capalaba are doing a great job there at protecting the goals when the ball comes in from a wide area. Being able to make good clearances and then launch attacks from that.
That'll be a corner for the Raw from the opposite side of the pitch.
And you can see that wind really picking up now. The corner flag is really taking off there, and it'll make it interesting for the defenders of Capalaba defending this one.
Just sizing up the options on that far side of the park, and another corner for the Raw. So 3 corners in the space of a short period. Will they be able to make this attacking advantage pay?
Here it comes in.
High into the box. Not too many orange shirts there waiting. There are plenty of yellow ones though. Westland. Raw decide that we'll come backwards to start again. Noon. Not too many getting forward there again for the Raw. Loud and easy clearance for the Bulldogs defence. Freer gets to the byline, delivers the cross, waiting at the near post, and somehow the ball didn't end up in the back of the net, and it's cleared away by Thompson just in time for Capalaba. And we've got our Instagram poll once again this evening, so we take a look at the replay. The Raw coming oh so close to finding a second goal, but Thompson there at the death end. Plenty of Raw supporters, it would seem, out there tonight, Mel.
Yeah, going by the Insta poll, backing Raw there, 89% to take the win. There's still a lot of the game to be played, though, and Capalaba are definitely proving a threat when they go forward, too.
An effort curling the wrong side of that right post. So, Mel, we've had about 20 minutes of play so far, coming up to that mark. What's been your assessment of the opening 20 minutes?
Yeah, I think as the game has gone on and both teams have settled in into the game, the young Raw and TC team are controlling possession but finding it hard to build up centrally and a forced wide into the wider areas, and just having a few challenges in getting the ball from those wide areas back into a scoring position. And to Capalaba's credit, they're defensively set up really well and compact, and when they win the ball, they're looking to launch counter-attacks pretty quickly, and it's proving effective, especially on the left-hand side when Thompson gets on the ball, and Lucy McDowell there is hunting and ghosting in on far post on the right-hand side.
Robert Gibson, the Capalaba coach, obviously has a game plan tonight, and his players are sticking to it so far. As you say, it looks like a big yellow bus parked down there at some stages, but trying to hit the Raw on the counter. As again, another attack builds up. Another ball into the box. And the keeper just unable to keep it within the confines of the field, and it'll be another corner for the Raw NTC.
I'd like to see the young players here take the opportunity to use a direct, going short again.
Once again, it's a high cross into the box.
Yeah, direct corner into the box where there's a bit of wind to deal with, and a keeper who would be, you know, really challenged to deal with a high ball.
Taken short, the free kick. Trying to find a way through these yellow shirts. Everyone from Capalaba behind the ball. And the referee once again blows the whistle. Free kick taken by Heatley. Attempted backheel from Capalaba. The keeper had to be brave in that situation. There were plenty of players coming towards her. Now, as we go through the night, Mel, I think we'll talk about some of the players and where their career started. I understand you started at Taringa Rovers. Is that right?
I did, yeah. I came out of high school and at Bridgeton College there, and just across the road is Taringa Rovers, and went on to play there, and it was a good learning environment for me as and that was my first club as an 18-year-old.
And where did it go from there, Mel? You've played in the Women's National Soccer League as well. Yeah,
I went to the Gap sort of 2 seasons later, and that's where things really stepped up, and the learning environment really developed my game. And from there, I was always trying to make that QAS program, but there's such depth of talent in that era. Kate McShay, Bryony Juice, Pamela Grant, Sarah Garvin, and it was always hard to break in. So I went down to New South Wales and spent a year there, and but wanted to come home after that and started coaching.
We'll talk about the coaching aspect in just a moment as well, as we see if Capalaba can try and conjure something out of that attack in their half of play. Just both sides trying to win the ball around the halfway line. Scoots between the Brisbane Roar player.
There's an opportunity here.
Yeah, another opportunity. The 2 Capalaba defenders were backtracking very quickly there on Riley. Haven't shut down the threat entirely just at the moment. Going direct from just outside the area was Rankin, but it was never coming down in time to dip under the bar. So the playing career obviously finished. Was it a natural progression to the coaching, or?
It was for me. I was teaching at the time as well, and I sort of progressed into a player coach role at the Gap, and then, you know, everyone seemed to be coming in younger, and they were certainly faster and fitter than me. So it was an easy decision in the end, even though I made several comebacks. But no, I love coaching, and the Gap gave me the first opportunity to do that, and it's sort of gone from there with opportunities born from those times.
Let's take a moment to size up the Roar in this attacking raid. Latham in there for Capalaba. As I said before, 12 appearances for the Brisbane Roar. Won the Premiership and Grand Final back in 2008-2009 in the W League. Interesting fact, she played in the inaugural W League Grand Final.
Steph's a quality player, and really smart midfielder, knows where to be, and great distributor of the ball, and her experience in this group will count a lot for Capalaba. And it's great to see her still in the game, and you know, mentoring, I'm sure, a lot of the young players that are playing for Capalaba. She's a great person.
Here's Rankin with a bit of space to move in. Westland. Freer. Again, another cross into the box from the left from Freer, but just unable to link up with Riley that time round. Mel, we've had a question come in on Facebook. Where does the Premier's plate live in the off-season? Is it in your cabinet at home?
That's a nice idea. No, it's not in my cabinet at home. My medal is placed nicely in my study on the top shelf. But the Premier's plate is at the Raw headquarters, new headquarters at Logan. So that's where it's living, and it's being well looked after there.
Lines and wide of the target to the left this time round. Have you got many medals to show off to anyone who comes along for a visit to your house?
Oh, there's one from 1985 when I was in grade 1. No, there's not too many medals. They're for the players. I made sure I got that one though, the Premier's medal.
Looked like a massive sense of relief when that full-time whistle blew at Suncorp about 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a mixture of feelings. I think probably the overriding feeling was just happiness, just so happy for those players and that staff to make such an achievement together, and really have had some challenges in recent times, and to put so many good performances together is credit to the players and the staff involved. It was mostly joy rather than relief.
What can they deliver? The Raw this time round. Westland tries to beat a player.
Again, just those runs into the box to give the wide player a target, an option for the cross or cut back. Just needs to improve.
So how do you fix that on the run? Can you fix that on the run, or do you have to wait until half-time to be able to try and fix that sort of issue?
No, you'd hope with the work that you do in training that the players can identify a trend that's occurring, and that something needs to change. And one of them is not only the delivery but the runs into the area. But they're young players and, not quite at the level yet to make those decisions, but perhaps not able to communicate to the teammates, what they're after. So, you can hear a lot of chat out there. I'm sure they're trying to work on it, but there'll be instructions at halftime too, I'm sure.
So this time, it's Freer. McGrath. Return ball for McGrath. Tucking in was Collins. Scrap for the ball. And a corner for the Raw. There's some dispute, but the assistant and the referee have come up with a corner.
Yeah, once they get that player on the ball facing forward in central areas, they look for the combination play, and now again with the short corners, the ball might come in.
Westland, half cross, half shot in the end. The end result is the score remains locked at 1-1.
Makes it difficult and easy for the Capalaba defence to deal with one runner. There's a good first movement, just the second movements of the Raw NTC players need to improve to get on the end of those balls into the area. Just seeing some experience there from the Capalaba players, taking the ball into the box as Riley presses the receiving centre-back.
You see the smarter teams doing that these days.
Yeah, not taking any chances. That's experience, and that's another reason why this team needs to be in this competition, to learn from these senior players and the experiences they have.
This is Noon. Once again, a room to go in as the Capalaba defenders hold off. Hard up against that near touchline Freer. One back here for the Raw. Low skimming shot along the ground from Rankin. Grass cut quite short here, it looks like, at John Fredericks Park.
Yeah, it looks short, but those through balls for both teams, especially in wide areas, seems to be holding up. So it's helping with those attacking moments to get in behind the teams.
Well, with all the possession, all the attacking territory at the moment, you sense that eventually this pressure will toll. Now, as Mel said a couple of times, the Capalaba defence has been quite stout, but you'd figure there's only just a matter of time that can keep on holding on for.
Yeah, I think
maybe a chance here for the Raw as the ball's delivered into the near post.
I think defending for such long periods like that only adds pressure, and a mistake is more likely, and especially as you try to clear the ball, and that's where the Raw might capitalise until they can find a way to break down or draw out the defence that's sitting so deep.
Once again, this variation on the corner. A similar result to the previous times, and the Raw retain possession in that forward third. Number 4 for the Raw NTC.
And that's the experience we're talking about. Steph Latham on the ball, reading that pass, using her body to protect it.
So we talked about Capalaba trying to act on the counter. Almost paid off that time round. Perhaps they can sense that they might be able to take advantage of a less experienced defence. Backheel from Lyons. Linking up with the Capalaba goal scorer in McDowell. Back for the keeper, Harbert, who hasn't had too much to do so far this evening. Squeezed it past McDowell. And here's Noon. Once again, Familia linking up with Frere down that left-hand side. Decision will go Capalaba's way. So one of the rare forays into the attacking third for the Bulldogs.
Be interesting to see how the Raw NTC manage this time that Capalaba have in this area. Hopefully they can keep it here for a bit of time and build pressure with the ball.
Terrell Collins, it was in the 8. She started her footballing career at Rochdale. Now Tegan Thompson. This time it's stout defending from the Raw. Back for the keeper in Harbert. Been going down the left quite often. Maybe they'll see what's happening down the right. Or just bustled off the ball was the Raw player. Bulldogs trying to get into the box. No real penalty shout, no real complaints either. Still, it's very high tempo in these warm, humid conditions. That's not slowing the players down any. Not being too many breaks in the play at all. Foot in there from Rankin. Raw. Can they break down this Capalaba defence this time? No is the answer. Latham. Attempting to link up with McDowell. Now Noon for the Raw.
This is better passage from the Raw here.
It is. Can they try and break down these yellow shirts? Once again, the last line of defence stands up for the Bulldogs. Noon tries to nick in. It's Capalaba come away with it through lines. Ooh, and that's almost taken out some of the crowd on that far side. That bullet-like clearance across the sideline. So again, the Roar in their attacking half. Noon. And the Roar just unable to hold possession in that final third.
Just finding it difficult when they're in control possession to draw them out and create space.
Shot onto the crossbar.
They're better in those moments when they're winning it and Capalaba slightly disorganised.
Well, the Roar showing what they're capable of. Let's take a look at that on the replay. Shot from distance there for the Roar. Onto the crossbar. And they almost found that second goal to go ahead again, the Roar. But not to be that time. Capalaba are going to have around about 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes now, to hold on in this first half to this 1-1 scoreline.
Oh, and this is a dangerous moment. Centre-back flying out of the line to deal with Latham between lines.
Yeah, racing in was Heatley. All players looking for the offside flag. It's not forthcoming.
Just the one-on-one duels, seeing Capalaba get the better of those. Just, you know, again, that experience and a bit stronger and better physicality over the young players of the Roar. Another good learning opportunity for them to deal with that.
Cardwell was denied by Harvard that time round. Caitlin Cardwell scored in the 4-1 loss of Capalaba to Moreton Bay United a couple of rounds ago. Looking to add to her 2018 tally.
Really not even trying to win the ball back. Capalaba high up the park.
Roar an opportunity.
Yep.
Unmarked. And the second goal of the evening comes India Paige Riley's way. And the Roar, who I said had been threatening for a while, it was a matter of time before the Capalaba defensive walls were going to break down, and eventually did. And the Roar had the lead again here, Mel, as we take a look at the replay.
Yeah, getting a midfielder on the ball, facing forward and able to play a winger in who can combine with the 9. Good passage of play, but again, just capitalising on a moment where Capalaba weren't set up narrow and compact.
Well, we saw a quick reply from the Bulldogs last time they conceded. Can they do it again? And that was the goal scorer there on the ball in McDowell. They're looking promising here, the Bulldogs, momentarily at least. So around about 6 or 7 minutes to play in this first half. Noon putting the pressure on was McDowell.
Good movement out wide there with the winger coming inside and the midfielder getting out high and wide to get on the ball.
Davidson it was in the 12 shirt. Roar once again out wide on that right-hand side, and a similar result to many times this evening. Another corner for the Roar.
And this is where gaining that experience playing in these conditions for points is important for a development team. We saw against Norway, the Matildas, taking advantage of the wind. The ball came in direct onto the crossbar, and it was a goal against Matildas. So might be one of those learning experiences for them to take advantage of conditions.
Low shot blocked. Others compose themselves. The Roar NTC. Losing out was Rankin. Although, once again, the Roar have come away with the ball. And, oh, there's a third goal. The keeper couldn't keep hold of it. And it's a hat-trick in the first half to India Page Riley. And the Roar have a 3-1 lead. Capalaba conceding in unfortunate circumstances there.
Again, just capitalising on that mistake. Trying to control possession there from Capalaba, and the keeper's been trying her best all evening, and that's an unfortunate mistake for her.
Well, Mel, you just touched on the Algarve Cup, and the Matildas go around again early tomorrow morning against Portugal. That thrilling last-minute win, last-second win in the game the other day. How do you think the Matildas will fare against Portugal? Of course, the Matildas the highest-ranked team in this tournament. That's
right. I think, you know, they'll be ready for a very competitive game against Portugal. They had a good result in their first match. And whilst the Matildas might have some key players unavailable, there's such depth in the team. They're still able to get on with the game, and they'll be up for it. And I'm sure we'll see another good game. Hopefully not such a nail biter. It was quite entertaining though.
Good for the neutral. Not so good if you're nervously hanging out in the early hours of the morning. And now Capalaba, a one-on-one opportunity, tries to sky it over Harbert. And we have another goal. Looks to be Caitlin Cardwell, who's equalised for Capalaba. And just when it looked like the Roar had the ascendancy in this match, the Roar found a goal before the half-time break. Mel, if you want to take us through the replay here.
Yeah, just took advantage of a mistake, and as a striker, back yourself to take those chances, and another good response after conceding again. This is a team that's not going to give up, and I think we're going to see a good second half.
That typical Bulldog fighting spirit coming out tonight in the shadows of half-time. 2 minutes or so to play, plus any stoppage time. Will the young Roar be able to compose themselves? They wouldn't want to go into the sheds conceding another. Capalaba with the spinnaker up at the moment. Ball on. Cleared away by the defence. McDowell went to go one way, turned the other. Had a pass cut out. Noon on the halfway line for the Roar. On the way back for the keeper in Harbert. Freer. Roar just content to hold on to possession, be patient, try and find a way through. McGrath. A hat-trick. Holder at the moment was Riley. Sent on that far side, trying to do the defensive work for the Bulldogs.
It'll be interesting to see as the game goes on and into the second half if Capalaba can continue to mount those counterattacks as fatigue and conditioning might come into play.
And again on their way to the races are the Bulldogs. Cardwell, who scored the most recent goal for Capalaba. Latham, once again that breeze, picking up Latham, skips through a couple of orange shirts. Latham now dances away into the box, puts the low shot in. The flag stays down. And I said they wouldn't want to concede another before the break here, but they have the Roar. And once again, it's Lucy McDowell.
Great work, individual work there from Stephanie Latham. Running with the ball, taking on players as an attacking midfielder should. creating something for her teammates. And Lucy's twice now been in the right spot at the right time.
So half a dozen goals now in this first half. Just when it looked like the Roar were going to comfortably go into the sheds at half-time with a lead, Capalaba looked like they might be going in on level terms, although the Roar might still have something to say about this. Although the referee, Sarah Pratt, has blown the half-time whistle. It's been a flurry of activity here in the first half of this round 5 NPL women's game from John Fredericks Park. 3 goals to India Page Riley for the Brisbane Roar. And for Capalaba, Lucy McDowell scored first for them before Caitlin Cardwell scored the second. And then it was Lucy McDowell again. But at the half-time break, it's the Brisbane Roar NTC 3, Capalaba 3. Mel, just take us through a quick summary of that first half.
Yeah, as we said, the game started really positively. It was fairly, attacking, both teams looking to go forward as quickly as possible. And as the game settled, I think we saw what both teams are trying to do. Capalaba sitting, waiting for a mistake or an opportunity to counter-attack, and the Roar trying to control possession and create something out wide. And yeah, it'll be interesting second half to see if the Roar NTC can regroup and be more effective, especially after they've scored a goal, and if Capalaba can stay in the game and manage their conditioning and the speed of the game as it goes on.
We'll come back and get your thoughts as to what the coaches might say at half-time. You can see the girls out on the pitch having a bit of a kick around. While they do that, we're going to take a bit of a break here for half-time. Plenty of action in this one. Stick around for the second half. It's the Brisbane Roar NTC 3, Capalaba 3.
We swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
I could watch them all day. Even though here, you don't feel like you need to. These are the moments I'll remember. You see, to me, it's not so much just having us all together, but finding a place that really brings us together. That's what makes Oaks Oasis special. When you only get a few chances, it's important to make them count. After all, memories don't make themselves.
Today. Audi Mini Rouge, Mini Star. Oh, Mini Star. Ah! Audi. Dream Team.
Reckon your kid could do better than Archie? We're looking for 4 mini stars to join the Aldi Mini Rouge Dream Team. If your kid's between 4 and 11, loves football, get them to make a video.
2 minutes max.
Showing us why they've got what it takes. If they're picked, they'll be part of the Aldi Mini Rouge Dream Team and the face of Aldi's wheat biscuits.
I thought I was meant to be on the box.
Oi, Geordie. Crossbar?
Oi, Jess, round the world.
Get into me, eh? Oh, that's good.
Can you do this? It's Female Football Week, and we want you to upload your best football moments to social media.
Use hashtag #YeahTheGirls. Yeah, the girls, so we can see what you can do.
See you on the pitch.
We swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
I could watch them all day. Even though here, you don't feel like you need to. These are the moments I'll remember. You see, to me, it's not so much just having us all together, but finding a place that really brings us together. That's what makes Oaks Oasis special. When you only get a few chances, it's important to make them count. After all, memories don't make themselves.
We did great today. Audi Mini Mini Star. Oh, Mini Star. Ah! Audi. Dream Team.
Reckon your kid could do better than Archie? We're looking for 4 mini stars to join the LD Mini Roos Dream Team. If your kid's between 4 and 11, loves football, get them to make a video
2 minutes max.
showing us why they've got what it takes. If they're picked, they'll be part of the LD Mini Roos Dream Team and the face of LD's Wheat Biscuits.
I thought I was meant to be on the box.
Oi, Geordie. Crossbar?
Oi, Jess, round the world.
Get into me, eh? Oh, that's good.
Can you do this? It's Female Football Week, and we want you to upload your best football moments to social media.
Use hashtag #YeahTheGirls. Yeah, the girls, so we can see what you can do.
See you on the pitch.
Well, the players are definitely ready. We're just waiting on the match officials now. They've come back out onto the park as well. Just had some changes in the team sheet that we've been made aware of. So where we might have been calling wrong players, let's clarify some of the shirts for the Brisbane Roar in the second half. Imogen Noon is in 15, Holly McQueen in 9, and Lainey Freer in 14. So apologies if we were calling some incorrect names there in the first half, but we're just going off the team sheets that we were provided. But I think we've clarified that now, Mel, but second half underway. It's been a thriller, 6 goals. Mel, if you were the respective coaches of both sides, what would you have said to your charges at half-time?
I think with the Capalaba dressing room, it would be really getting their defensive units organised early. If we're not pressing, just tuck and protect as soon as we lose the ball so that we can get set up and stop those quick breaks down the wings or centrally, and then do what they were doing early in the half and look for those opportunities when they win the ball to counter, rather than getting caught out with 1 or 2 trying to win the ball back early. And then for the Raw team, I think just their biggest challenge is when they're actually controlling possession in the front third and being patient enough to draw out the Capalaba defence and getting a midfielder on the ball facing forward or wingers coming in centrally on the ball facing forward, and then just being, you know, really defensively tight once they've scored to not let them back into the game. Be interesting to see how it all plays out.
We'll see whether both sets of teams heed that advice, whether Mel's got a bit of a crystal ball and able to get into the dressing rooms to see what the coaches have said. 6 goals in the first half, maybe more in this second half as we take in this round 5 NPL Women Queensland game from John Fredericks Park between the Brisbane Roar NTC and Capalaba. 3 goals to India Page Riley for the Roar, and for Capalaba 2 to Lucy McDowell and 1 to Caitlin Cardwell. That's how we've got to 3-3.
Yeah, just moments like this there. Cardwell out on her own, trying to press and win the ball. Just create spaces in between lines. I think leaves Capalaba a bit susceptible.
Cleared away straight into the path of the Raw player, though. Was there a free kick? Yes, says the referee, Sarah Pratt. So right at the edge of the D for the Raw. McGrath over it along with Lainey Freer, who initially had as a substitute, but looks like she's actually started the game. Left, the Raw trying to put in a variation. Noon. And now there again for the Raw. It's Khan. Noon once more. Low one in towards the near post. A consultation between the referee and assistant. And goal kick has what's been awarded in the end.
Promising there from the young Raw. We were talking about not having runners into the area for those plays out wide crossing. 3 in the 6-yard for that ball.
Clearance come from Byrill. Free kick will go the Bulldogs' way. Taking it was Robbins. Chasing it down is Cardwell. You can hear shouts of far post. Raw defenders too clever. Stop that play. Robbins again for Capalaba.
Might be an opportunity here now. They're getting him behind down the left to whip in an early one behind the high line of the Raw to Lucy McDowell, who's nice and tall against a young short fullback for the Raw there in Misha Westland. Be interesting to see if they've identified that as another way to create scoring chances for themselves.
Win initially from Rankin. Straight back into the path of Capalaba. Demi Robbins. She's got something in common with you, Mel. She's a third-year teaching student, Demi Robbins.
Yeah, she's a local product. I believe she came through Cleveland State High's Football Excellence program and has, you know, played a fair bit of rep football through the schoolgirls program, and it's great to see her playing at this level. She's one to watch in the coming years, still young.
Only female amongst all her brothers and cousins, so she's had to definitely try and stand out from the crowd somehow. This free kick looking to be taken quickly by the Raw, but out of position. Noon, who we've now clarified in the 15 shirt, beats the defender in Sen. She's forced along the edge of the box. Raw able to get a ball in, but no one there waiting. Be recycled here. Khan. Noon. Fortuitously gets it back after it goes into the legs of the defender. Noon again. Well, tackle was coming in from Cardwell. Deemed to be unfairly, though.
Dangerous area for the keeper here.
So once again, it's a couple over the free kick. Rankin in the 6. McGrath in the 10.
You'd think Rankin would take this one, being the left footer.
4 in the wall for the Bulldogs. And that's exactly what does happen, Mel.
Ooh. Would have been dangerous if she got on the end of that and headed it back across goals for those forward runs.
So, of course, as we've talked about, this is the start of Female Football Week. You can help Football Queensland celebrate Female Football Week. Showcase your hashtag #YeahTheGirlsMoments and upload them to either Facebook or Instagram so we can see you. And, of course, you can follow Football Queensland on Instagram at FootballQLD. You can also use the hashtag YTG as we celebrate all things Female Football Week. And as I said before, it's a big week of live streaming in the NPL Women's. Tomorrow, Simon Smale makes the trip out to Gatton with South West Queensland Thunder taking on Gold Coast United. You can catch that on the Football Queensland Facebook or YouTube accounts from 3 p.m. And it's a double header tomorrow night. First versus second. Darren Lutton will join you from the Walton Bridge Reserve. The Gap taking on South, 6 p.m. That promises to be an absolute blockbuster, that one. Two of the powerhouses in Southeast Queensland women's football. Meanwhile, Noon with a bit of a slalom run there.
Just needed an option as she came infield to draw out and fix one of the Capalaba central defenders to create that space in behind for the next player. Didn't quite work out that way, but it's been attempted a few times already this half.
Quick break by McDowell. 2 goals for Capalaba already this evening. Forced to retreat, though. And Capalaba not only ceded territory, but also possession, although they have it back again. Latham, she seems to be more active in this second half. Just couldn't get a ball in there at the end. But that's one of the tactics I've sensed has changed a little bit, Mel. Steph Latham seems to be getting a little bit more forward in this second half.
Yeah, they definitely seem to be wanting to control possession a bit more and get players on the ball rather than just get it forward to McDowell or Thompson there or Cardwell. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Rankin it was, delivering the cross from the right for the Roar. Here she is again. And in the hands of Byriel.
Yep, Latham again. Looking to start things for her team.
Always the inspiration for her side. Captain's not from Steph Latham. If you've just joined us, we have been talking about previous experience in the W League. So helping out her club in the NPL Women's. Free kick is taken by Robbins. There was a bit of indecision there. Harbert eventually comes out to meet it.
Just a couple of times now to start this half with a free kick in this middle third halfway area. That high line of the Roar could prove an undoing there if Capalaba can get a forward run onto one of those balls over the top.
Into the attacking half for the Roar. Cross delivered in, nodded away. Roar have come away with it once more. Rankin, who's been quite impressive this evening. Then Laney Freer. Once again, a win from the Roar. Davidson. Send with the clearance. Straight back to a Roar player though. Noon. Khan. Square along the halfway line.
Great pass into midfield here.
It was a good pass. And Boreal, an easy collect. Davidson, not enough strength on that shot in the end to test Boreal. Easy win for the Roar. Noon, square. Gives it away, though, to Latham. And then Latham gives it away.
Here's where I'd just like to see Capalaba just really get in narrow and compact and like they were in the first half and make it difficult for the Roar to break like this.
Noon got in behind Sen. Again at the edge of the box. Unable to control it was Laney Freer. Heatley. Rankin. Davidson. Just looks up, senses the options. Instead to come back to Heatley. Khan. Slips over as she delivers that cross in. And Boreal once more. Who are you backing on Instagram? As we said earlier, plenty of Roar supporters out there, obviously. It was 89% last time we checked, now 95% of you cheering on the Roar at home this evening, who did have a 3-1 lead but conceded 2 goals in that 5-minute period before half-time to allow Capalaba back into the game. 6 of the best in the first half, and through this first 13 or so minutes, we haven't seen any addition, which is perhaps a bit of a surprise considering how freely the goals were flowing in that first half. Latham. Latham towards the edge of the box. She's been forced wide though. Now off the right foot. Tried to get the shot away. It was blocked.
Yeah, I think asking her to stay a bit higher and closer to Cardwell is proving a good change, a good adjustment made at half-time. She's getting a lot more of the ball and in better areas too to create something for Capalaba.
Rankin. Ball through for Laney Freer. Shooting the ball away and then clearing it was Collings. Neither coach going to the bench just yet. Obviously don't feel as though they need to change things up that much just at the moment. Just getting this throw in to be taken from the right position though. I think we got there in the end. Play eventually restarts. Oh, an air swing from the Raw player. Capalaba come away with the ball.
Oh,
well, she's done well there to beat the trap.
Well-timed pass.
Cardwell should come up against her opposite number 12 in Davidson. Good battle for the ball. Cardwell's looking for a bit of support. The referee having some stern words to one of the players in the background. Looks as though the free kick will go Capalaba's way. And just as I said, no one was readying a change. A change is being readied for Capalaba. So we'll get a glimpse of that in just a moment. Will it be taken before the free kick? It looks like it will be.
Oh, that's McDowell.
So, yeah, Lucy McDowell. Is it...
Looks like McDowell's off.
We'll get the substitute coming on in just a moment. It's number 9, Maddie Finneran. So the 2-goal scorer for Capalaba has departed the scene on the hour mark. Free kick for the Bulldogs. Now the Raw break on the counter. Yellow shirts flowing back in numbers to try and repel this attack. Playing it on was Westland. Now cross delivered in.
Great ball into the area. Left foot, pinpoint accuracy to a 1v1 centrally. I think that was Noon on the ball. Yep. Great run from Imogen. Defender as well and the keeper there just to give her that added pressure to bring it down. Did enough to prevent the goal.
As we've referred to many times tonight, Mel, it is the start of Female Football Week. Oh, and there's been a dust-up here in the back play. Raw player Dean to have been delaying the free kick and picks up the yellow card.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing all those moments being shared on social. Yeah, the girls. Get your hashtags out there. All the teams, schools, there's so many great teams and programs out there. I'd love to see your best moment shared, and I'll be scrolling through and looking forward to seeing what it is that excites you about football.
What's your choice of the socials, Mel? Are you on... your Twitter or a Snapchat or a...
I'm a bit of a...
Instagram aficionado?
Bit of an amateur, just starting out. Yeah, I'm on Insta and Twitter. But yeah, I'm just starting out. I'd love to... I'm learning more from the crew here about all the things you can do with it. But, you know, I'm certainly going to be following the hashtag, yeah, the girls and YTG, so I can, you know, get more familiar with how it all works and what's cool to post.
Meanwhile, half chance here for the Royal. Sen defends it first time round, and once again it had to be another brave save by Byreal. It was India Page. Riley again lurking to try and extend her 3-goal tally so far this evening. Good battle there.
Great contest.
Khan for the Raw and Cardwell for the Bulldogs.
I think this might come down to the last 15 minutes of the game, this contest.
And a double change being readied here for the Raw. So the first player departing is Anna McGrath, and so too is Sian Freer, and it's number 8 and 13 coming on. In 13, it's Bronte Hodgkinson, and in 8, it's Georgia Beaumont. So just waiting for the all clear after the substitutions have been made. Rankin. Now it's Khan. Quick 1-2 by Noon for Rankin. Just clipped on the ankle was the Raw player in Davidson.
Those 1v1 battles now are really intensifying. Capalaba are not letting the Raw girls control the game by any means.
Free kick taken by Rankin. Defended away by Sen, it looked like. Raw will have it once more, though. And under the looming pressure of Finneran, Raw player played it sideways for a teammate. Far side of the park. Riley. Now it's a substitute, Beaumont. And wide of that left hand upright.
I think we'll see a bit more of a threat there in a different way from Beaumont. Loves to get the ball back to goal, to feet, and will shoot on sight. Imogen, you know, is a runner, loves to make those runs in behind, so might see a few more shots taken from Beaumont.
So both sets of goal scorers have been taken off now for Capalaba. Caitlin Cardwell makes her way from the pitch to be replaced by JJ McLean in jersey 5. McLean scored 2 goals in the win against Southwest Queensland Thunder, and first touch of the ball comes up against Harbert. She remains on the ground, McLean, which is unfortunate. Slowly getting back to her feet. McLean, a keeper herself for the last 2 years, and yeah, just trying to regain her feet. As we take a look at the replay while McLean receives some attention. Here she is with her first touch of the ball in a collision with Harbert, who was outside her area.
That was great build-up play there. Spoke about it early in the second half. Utilising the space in behind a high back line, and I think it was Tegan Thompson there who delivered that well-weighted pass in behind that created that chance, and hopefully we see...
Well, it might be a little bit more serious because the players are going off to grab a drink. So McLean remains down. As I just mentioned, she's been a keeper herself in that collision that she had with Harbert for the last couple of years before coming to Capalaba from Olympic a couple of seasons ago. So that might just give us a bit of a chance to go through the other games that are taking place this weekend. As I mentioned, tomorrow at 3 p.m. on the live stream out at Gatton, Simon Smale joins you for Southwest Queensland Thunder versus Gold Coast United. I think Abby Lloyd might be heading out to that one as well. Abby Lloyd and Nat Tatham, I think, are joining up in commentary this weekend. At 5 p.m. tomorrow, Western Pride host the Sunshine Coast Warriors. Battle of the Big Cats at 6 o'clock at Lions Stadium. Lions up against Eastern Suburbs. Our other live stream game tomorrow, as I said before, should be an absolute blockbuster. First versus second, the Gap hosting Souths. 7 p.m, the local derby, Moreton Bay United up against Mitchelton. And then the lone game on Sunday, Logan Lightning make the trip down the M1 to take on Mudgeeraba. The M1 with reduced speed limits these days due to the Commonwealth Games. That doesn't start for a month, but they've reduced the speed limit by 10 k's already. I don't know why I said that, Mel. But
No,
anyway, I'm
but-
filling in time at the moment as we take a look at the Brisbane Raw girls.
Yep, it's good to see them there regrouping and perhaps managing those threats that Capalaba are presenting against their high line. But interestingly, I can see Emily Gilnick, our Raw W League right winger in Matilda, over there taking charge with her Capalaba team, getting involved with coaching.
So Mel, we're just taking a look through some of the highlights that we've had in this game so far. Here's Steph Latham lining up for a free kick. Saw a goal being scored from this effort by Lucy McDowell. It's since been replaced. And then action here for the Roar. Capalaba initially clearing that ball away. But the Roar reacting quickly. So just taking you through. Yeah, we've done that. Just while you watch on at these replays, we're just checking in on the progress of JJ McLean. There has been a stretcher brought out onto the park. And it looks like she's about to be escorted on a stretcher, unfortunately, here for JJ McLean. Basically one touch of the ball, a half chance of collision with Harbert. Had just come onto the park, and JJ McLean will leave the scene after basically 60 seconds of game time, and that'll force another change here for the Capalaba coaching staff. So McLean will be replaced, and therefore their last substitute will be 16, Chelsea Fryer. So they've emptied the bench now. Capalaba players returning back to their positions after that 5-minute or so break. Mel, obvious statement. We never like to see injuries like that, but what does that sort of do? Does it sort of break up the momentum for these two teams, or does it just allow the coaches a bit of time to compose their sides, deliver some additional instructions for this final part of this second half?
Yeah, a disruption to the game like that can do all those things. But in most cases, I think it works to the advantage of the team who seems to be controlling the game the most. And I think at this stage, I think the young Roar NTC are doing that, and there just might have been some reminders coming from the bench about what's needed for the rest of the game. Need something special here, I think, from Capalaba as the game wears on.
On there for the substitute has been newly introduced, Chelsea Fryer for Capalaba. Roar out of their own territory now. So Roar forced to retreat all the way back into their own half. Harbert. It's even worse news for JJ McLean, who has taken off with an injury, just coming back from serious injury, actually. And obviously being eased back into game time by the Capalaba coaching staff coming off the bench. So we wish her all the best. Harbert.
The sub for Capalaba there, number 9.
Finneran?
Yeah,
Finneran.
that speed as the game progresses might just be that special factor, X factor that the Capalaba need to
Here's an opportunity opening up here for the Roar. The shots from Lainey Fryer directed straight to the keeper, though. And Mel, we talked about in the first half how it was almost a million miles an hour. The pace has certainly come out of this game a little bit in this second half now.
Yeah, it seems though. Cardwell staying high, so is the sub Finneran as well. And with Steph staying a bit high and connected to those two, they might be able to use their speed to create a problem here.
Here's Noon. Touch back for the keeper. Boreal collects it. Sends it long. Over the head of her teammate. Lines. Scramble clearance away by the Bulldogs. All the way down to Harbert. Latham putting the pressure on for the Bulldogs. What have you picked up, Mel?
Sorry, wasn't Cardwell, Fryer. Fryer staying up high with Finneran. For Capalaba. Just a slight change. It's leaving midfield open for Capalaba when they don't get the ball to the two strikers staying a bit higher up the park.
Assistant flags up for offside. Saw the 14 there before. Catherine Tibbles for Capalaba. Started off her junior career here and played in the first senior women's team at the Bulldogs before heading off to Redlands. And then when that program wound down, ended up back at the Bulldogs again. Third or fourth season here at John Fredericks Park, second time round for Catherine Tibbles. As we have Boreal holding the ball and the referee's whistle has been blown.
Don't want any...
One of the Raw players obviously said something. It's Lainey Freer, very stern talking to from Sarah Pratt. So how are we going to restart play? With a free kick. I always thought you had to be booked in that situation to...
Yeah, I wonder if she was just trying to delay the keeper from getting a quick throw away and was impeding the keeper in some way.
Harbert.
Setting the line a bit higher now, Capalaba. Certainly not as deep as we saw in the first half, but leaving a lot more spaces in midfield.
So under 15 minutes of normal time to play, but we're probably going to have at least 5 or 6 minutes stoppage time for that injury to JJ McLean. So we've still got probably the better part of 20 minutes in this one. Here's Latham.
Oh, speed on the left. She can get it to her.
Finneran. She did get it to her, Mel. Finneran just shapes up the shot. Hesitation with two Raw players standing directly in front of her. Sen's being caught out in defence, but will recover. No target on that far side, though. In possession is Westland. We're operating down that far touchline. Substitute Beaumont comes up against the defender in Osborne. Collings. Two Raw shirts there. Squeezes it through, though. Is she able to link up with a teammate in lines? Getting there first, though, was Lainey Freer. But again, outside her box. No pressure for her to deal with, though. Khan. Square ball. Here's Noon.
Runners into the area.
Not the first time she's got in behind Sen. It's taken a touch off her defender. The attempted shot from Georgia Beaumont. So this is just a better period of play here for the Raw.
It's better to see too that those runs are into the area for the wide player who's crossing or cutting it back.
Corner delivered in. I'll get a second one here, the Raw. Instructions being dished out from the Roar coaching bench. I think they want Georgia Beaumont more in the middle of the park. A bit of indecision as to who's going to take the corner. Beaumont eventually does realise the instruction. Gets in towards the penalty spot. Meanwhile, corner is played in. Shot through the pack. One there by Westland for the Roar. Rankin.
Yeah, when they have when Capalaba has everyone behind the ball like that, or in and around the box, it's hard for the Roar to break that down. They have to draw them out like this to create better opportunities at goal.
And the offside flag goes up. Players certainly putting in a concerted effort. You could see the sweat there on Catherine Tibbles. Capalaba playing with a bit of danger, able to clear though.
Oh, good control there.
Yeah, works out very well for Fryer. But a little bit more involved in this second half. Neither keepers really had to make a save though in this second period. We're 3-3 at half time. We remain 3-3. Right up next to our commentary position, Khan going up against Finneran.
We're looking to win the ball up high here, but if they get through this press, which they're unable to, might be able to create something, but now Capalaba look to counter.
Latham trying to provide some inspiration for her side.
Terrell's well and truly overlapped here, high and wide.
Fryer, sorry, I should say it was Lyons with that distinctive headband. Do you sense we're going to stay as we are, Mel, or do you feel a goal coming on?
No, there'll be a goal. Yeah.
Confident prediction?
I think so.
For Mel Andreatta?
Yep, there'll be a goal. And it'll be either from, capitalising on a mistake, I think, or just build-up play in the middle third to get a striker in on goal. Could go either way at this stage, I think.
Even I was nervous for you in those final few minutes of that game at Suncorp a few weeks ago. Even though you had a nice buffer, Canberra just wouldn't put away there at the end, but eventually they were. Especially when they scored that goal.
Yeah, that worldie. That was a screamer. Yeah, no, there was a few heart-stopping moments. The centre-back was pushed up to striker. Went to 3 at the back, and but the girls adjusted well, and I still think finished the stronger. It was a good moment when that final whistle went.
It's a good segue because we've been talking about Female Football Week all night. Yourself and Heather Garrick, the Canberra coach, are the only two female coaches in the W League. Is there a goal someday that there is more representation from women in the W League as head coaches?
Most definitely. I think that's why there's so many initiatives to support women to take opportunities in different aspects of the game in terms of coaching. There's the FFA Female Coaches Mentor Program, which I was a part of, and so too was Heather. And now we are both coaching in the W League. Of course, another Queenslander, Ray Dower, has coached and has come home for different reasons, but I'm sure we'll be back in the game soon. And yeah, we'd love to see more women coaching teams when they're ready and they've gained that experience and earn the opportunity. I think we'll see more women coaching as the seasons go by.
Is this the dream of yours, to become Matilda's coach one day? Is that too lofty an ambition, or is it ambitions you do harbour?
Yeah, I've been asked similar questions sort of this week, and I haven't really thought about it, to be honest, because I'm really happy right now coaching a team that I've loved for so long, at a club that I've followed for so long, and my ambition is to be the best coach I can be, and I'm being challenged right now to do that and to be that. So, you know, I'll focus on what I'm doing now and just do that the best I can, and whatever happens in the future happens, and I'll see what happens when it arises.
Good answer, Mel. Good answer.
Anyway, they're all sorted. They know what they're doing.
I think it's the ambition of anyone that has drive. And I've only chatted to you a couple of times, and you are extremely driven to try and get to the highest level that you can.
You know, I think I just want to help grow the game and give our female footballers every opportunity to succeed, and, you know, to help Brisbane Roar and the W League side to win a premiership and to be successful again has been a wonderful opportunity for me. And if that was called upon me at youth level or whatever in the future by FFA, you know, I'd only be too willing to help.
Well, Capalaba scrambling to clear away after the cross came in from Noon. It was dangerous and nervous moments there for Capalaba, but they scramble to clear this one away for a corner. So we have a look at it on the replay. It was the substitute Beaumont in there. Boreal again strong for her side. She's had to make a couple of conclusive saves for her team tonight. Corner this time from the opposite side for the Roar.
She's a brave keeper. She gets in there and puts her body on the line and will do anything to protect that goal. She's been called upon a few times tonight to do just that.
Courage definitely not an issue for the Capalaba keeper. And that not the best effort there from the Roar. Heatley chuming up from further down the park. Steers that one wide of the target. So around about 3 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Mel thinks we've got a goal and is still here.
Yeah, I do. I think, you know, I think we just saw a moment there that the Roar could perhaps capitalise on, press a little higher and try to win the ball back earlier, and they might get something from it. And I think if Capalaba keep getting the ball in this area around halfway and get Steph on the ball and try to service one of their fast strikers, I think we could see something from them as well.
Well, there is Steph Latham. Trying to be too wily for her opponent.
And we're seeing that from Capalaba.
Cut out Harbert's goal kick straight into the path of Finneran. And that presented half an opportunity for Capalaba to take the go-ahead goal. You don't see Danny Harbert make mistakes like that too often.
No, but I think it's the initiative that just spoke about, trying to win the ball closer to the opponent's goal, and Finneran just did that and was unlucky not to be able to get a shot away with that turn or have support inside to bounce off for another shot.
Yeah, it was very good work by Finneran. She sensed it was coming and cut down that angle, the two number 15s. Look lively since she's come on, Maddie Finneran. Might get involved again soon. This is Thompson. And that's going to be too far even for the pacey Finneran. So about to enter stoppage time. As I said before, I'd fancy probably at least 6 minutes of it, given that serious injury to JJ McLean. Unfortunately, I can just see the ambulance.
What a ball there from the defender into the striker.
Chasing it down now is Noon. In towards the 6-yard box. Falls there for the substitute. Ball straight to the keeper. The offside flag stays down. The goal has been credited. You are right, Mel. We were going to see another. Was it a goal, Mel, or did my eyes deceive me?
No, she's called the offside by the looks. The official.
Well, let's take a look at that on the replay. It's a substitute, Beaumont. And then the ball tucked away in the back of the net. The assistant's flag stayed down, interestingly enough, but the referee
has called it.
Yes. So the goal chalked out. Handball, we're being told by the assistant. So the goal chalked off for the Roar, not for potential offside call, but for a handball, and still they come. Noon. And there's no one chasing through on the ball. Latham beats that Raw player.
And this is the danger.
Fryer.
Unable to find the striker. Finneran in behind there.
Doing plenty of work, Maddie Finneran. And she is about to try and make the challenge. Noon.
Nice running with the ball. Can she find the runner? Unfortunately not.
Straight to a yellow shirt, but she's made amends for a mistake. Just caught flat-footed was Beaumont. Finneran has come deep, searching for the ball. Back for Boreal. Had to get it away quickly. Latham.
That's better defending.
Ball put through for the Roar. Riley, she's already scored 3. Goal kick. 2 minutes of time, or 2 minutes remaining, I'd suggest. Seemed to be what the referee was indicating. So all the goals coming so far in the first half. Seen no action in terms of the scoreboard attendant being interrupted in the second. And both sides desperate for the 3 points with the 2 minutes that we have remaining. So sense of urgency. This throw-in to be taken. Heatley. Harbert calls for it and gets it. So she'll be the director from the back. Giving it away, though. Latham, that was extremely opportunistic. She spotted Harbert off her line and thought, well, I'll have a crack and try and lob her. But it was worse than my sand wedges out of the bunker at the golf course. I'm glad you laugh at my jokes, Mel.
Yeah, just
I don't get them too often from anybody else.
I don't mind a joke of that type.
So can Capalaba win back possession in this area, which would make them a threat, or the Roar are going to have to go the length of the park to try and search for a late winner? Harbert holds it up.
Oh, not the time.
No, that is full time indeed. As I said, all the goals coming in the first half of this one. It was India Page Riley who opened the score for the Brisbane Roar early doors. She went on to score a first-half hat-trick. There were replies from Lucy McDowell with 2 goals and Caitlin Cardwell from Capalaba. 3 all at half-time, and that's how the score has remained after 90 minutes as well. It's Capalaba 3, Brisbane Roar NTC 3. Mel, your final thoughts on this match?
Yeah, it was tightly contested, finishing in a draw, and I think it'll be interesting to see how both teams progress in the season, and if they can climb, you know, to the higher echelons of the ladder as the season goes on. Neither will be happy with that result, I wouldn't think, and both would have wanted the win.
Any positive signs for either side out of this encounter?
Yeah, I think we saw some threats for Capalaba going forward into the season. You know, that number 9, Finneran, certainly looked like she'd be someone who will grow into the team and progress as the season goes on. Good speed, got on the ball in the box and did a nice little turn, just couldn't get the shot away. And they'll get more organised as the season goes on, and I think the same with the Raw group. They'll become more effective in the way that they want to play and control possession to create those chances and just be a little bit more aggressive in the way they do that.
Well, thanks very much, Mel, for joining us on Friday night at the start of Female Football Week. I'm sure we'll have you back again at some stage through the season. How did you enjoy your first commentary experience?
Oh, my first experience has been awesome. You've been a wonderful teacher, and I've loved it and loved learning a new aspect of the game. So thank you. You've got a great team here.
You're welcome. It's been great to call some of your games this year, and now to have you in commentary, it's been fantastic. So thanks very much, Mel.
No worries.
Ladies and gentlemen, from John Fredericks Park, we're going to wrap it up in this round 5 NPL women's game at full time. A point each. Capalaba 3, Brisbane Roar NTC 3. Just remember those games again tomorrow. 3 p.m. Simon Smale with the game between Southwest Queensland Thunder and Gold Coast United. And then Darren Lutton will join you at 6 o'clock tomorrow for the Gap versus South. But from John Fredericks Park, it's good night. On behalf of the team, it's Rafe Griffin signing off 3-3 in this NPL women's encounter.